Hey, everybody. It's so good to see you guys. Oh, gosh. I swear I felt like I'm going sternbone crazy last night. I had to set up, and our internet was out all day long, and they had a shortage in our whole area. And so we was like, oh, man, like we didn't know what to do. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do the stream that I had set up for last night for tonight. So it's so good to see everybody. Thank you guys so much for being in here. I know more people are probably coming in. They're getting the notifications later. But let me go in and say hi to everybody. Hello, beautiful Rocket Queen. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Miss Sharon. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. Hello, Rose Petal. Good to see you, darling. Hope you're doing good. Welcome, Joseph. Thank you so much for being in here. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Ghost Devil? Good to see you, brother. Hello, Miss Pat. Good to see you, darling. Hope you're doing well. Hello, beautiful Digger Duck. Good to see you, sweetie. Hope you're doing good. Hope everybody's doing good. Thank you guys so much, like I said, for being in here. It was kind of like it was scheduled, but it was scheduled for yesterday, but I couldn't come on my computer and change it. So I apologize. It was not my fault, not intentional. It was we had a shortage, internet shortage, and it was all in our area yesterday, and we didn't get it back on till like four o'clock this morning. It was out from yesterday around 11 a.m. till this morning at 4 a.m. Yeah, and we called and called and called. Oh Lord, we called a bunch. Rebel said that he's tired where he worked today, that he is going to go on. He's going to go live tomorrow. Tomorrow, guys. He said more than likely. All right, so this is what we had scheduled for last night, guys. It says, what is a shallow person? It says tonight we're going to go over what is a shallow person, information on what it is, and how does this affect your well-being and mental health. I think there's a lot of, just my personal opinion. I think there's a lot of shallow people in the world, and I think you need to have like a good mixture of both if you're going to be, Like I think because it's the opposite. It's the opposite of deep, of course. But there's some people that are extremely deep and they care and stuff, and then there's some people that are shallow and it's kind of like they're all about themselves, if that makes sense. That's my personal opinion. Yes, Miss Pat, honey, we didn't have no TV or nothing because we don't have cable. We run everything off the internet. So we have Netflix, we have everything, you know, um, everything is on the internet, everything. And so the kids was bored out of their mind. They didn't have no TV to watch. They didn't have no Netflix, Hulu, whatever, YouTube TV or whatever we have. They was bored out of their mind. And yeah, so it was it was crazy. It was crazy. But let me pull up my information, guys. And the people that are in here new, this is a support stream and a positivity stream. We cover well-being, mental health, support, encouragement, awareness, positivity, and motivation. So the people that are in here new, which I appreciate you guys so much for coming in here. That's what we cover. And then I go live every day, but out of those everyday lives, about half of them, like let's see, Monday and Tuesday is like our topic days. Wednesday is an open panel where you can just we come in here and just talk about positivity stuff, lift each other up. Thursday is tattoo couple, and this will also be streamed on mine too. But tattoo couple, so I'll be on tattoo couple with my husband Rebel, and then um, Fridays and Saturdays are open panel karaoke and have fun and sing and dance and just be yourself. Enjoy yourself. That's all positivity. And then Sunday, I have a topic. So out of 7 days a week, 3 days are topics, 3 days are open panels just to be yourself. And then one day is the tattoo couple. So, meow, meow day. Yes, Rocket Queen. Hello, hippie grandma. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if y'all haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much. Of course, it's Meow Meow Day, Rocket Queen. She said that's what she sings. Meow Meow. All right, guys. Let me pull up my information. But yeah, on the topic days or anything that's kind of pulls my heartstrings and I want to bring awareness to or whatever to that effect. Bring awareness and support and motivation and just bring it out there. Then we do that on certain days. But what I do is I go digging deep in the internet and pull up some really good information. I think a lot of people, don't realize what something is until I go over it or whatever the case may be. So it's a lot of good things. And, it's kind of like life lessons in a way. Some of them about mental health. Like it's just a variety of things that we talk about and all good vibes, guys. It's all good vibes. So tonight we are going to talk about what is a shallow person. Hello, Gone Girls. Good to see you, sweetheart. Virtual hugs to you. Virtual hugs to everybody. Hope everybody's doing lovely on this great Monday. And tomorrow's our 4th of July. So I'll still be going live tomorrow night. All right. Let's see. Share the screen. All right. It says, what does it mean to have a shallow personality? This is on WikiHow. I pull up a couple of different things, and they sometimes say the same thing, sometimes they don't, and that's why I try to pull up a couple things so you can look at a different perspective of kind of so you can see kind of all the way around what it truly means to whatever we're talking about. Okay, it says breaking down the traits and warning signs of a shallow person. Have you ever come across from someone who could only talk about the weather or celebrities or worse themselves? Chances are you are dealing with a shallow personality. These are people who, like their namesake, are about as deep as a puddle. But what makes a person shallow, and what does it mean to have a shallow personality exactly? We'll fill you in on the meaning of the term and signs that you're talking to a shallow individual. Then we'll offer helpful tips for how to engage with a shallow person, as well as how to become a bit deeper yourself. Things you should know. Sometimes someone who has a shallow personality is superficial and doesn't think very deeply about important things. Shallow people are often materialistic or overly concerned with physical appearances and tend to get into a lot of drama. People with shallow personalities also tend to be judgmental or self-centered and have trouble forming meaningful relationships. Hello, Shani B. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. Hope your daddy's doing good. Thank you for being in here, sweetie. It says, what is a shallow personality? Having a shallow personality means to be superficial or not thoughtful. When something is shallow, it means it's only surface level, not intimate, or to put a finer point on it, not very deep. A shallow person or personality then is someone who only concerns with things that are on the outside or which aren't very profound: money, looks, social status, etc. This also means that a shallow person tends to not be very interesting. Example, he stopped watching the movie because he said the actors weren't pretty. I guess he just got a shallow personality. Signs of a shallow person. Number one, they are little too into drama or gossip. You probably think of someone who's always at the center of the same fiasco. A shallow person tends to seek out drama as a form of fun, and that probably has something to do with biology. Drama or confrontation releases adrenaline and cortisol. which gives you quite a rush. It could be that superficial people look for, that rush by stirring up controversy instead of seeking pleasure or fulfillment elsewhere, like a deep conversation. Don't get us wrong, gossip has its place, and who doesn't love a little hush hush talk every now and then? But for a shallow person, it's usually all gossip all the time. Number two, they tend to be materialistic or obsessed with trends. It's a common complaint in a dating pool. They're only into him or her because he's rich. A shallow personality tends to gravitate towards money, expensive clothing, high-end trinkets like phones or whatever else satisfies their craving for material wealth. Since they don't value other things like experiences or solid relationships. Just because someone likes nice things, it doesn't automatically make them shallow. But if they need the latest gadget or clothing line, even when they already had the last one, red flag. Number three, they are overly concerned with looks. Shallow people tend to be fussy about their appearance or prioritize good looks in their friends or partners. In fact, one study shows that materialism, a classic superficial trait, goes hand in hand with superficially about appearances. Men who value wealth also prioritize looks and possible partners. Prettiness tends to be something that's easy to identify, which makes it appealing to shallow people who might not want to look much further than someone's appearance. As I always say, don't judge a book by its cover. It's on the inside that's what counts. If you're trying to decide if someone is shallow, have a look at their friend group. Do they surround themselves only with people you consider conventionally attractive? If yes, that's a big hint. They could be shallow. Number four, they are judgmental or self-centered. A shallow personality doesn't try very hard to see things from another point of view. They lack empathy, which is the ability to relate to other people and their problems. Instead, a shallow person chooses the easy route, being judgmental. They can't understand experiences on their own, so they turn up their nose rather than to try to sympathize. For example, a shallow person might assume that someone with a little body odor must be unhygienic, instead of stopping to consider they may that maybe they just went for a run and didn't have time to shower or might even have a condition that they can't help. Number five, they lack emotional depth. Talking to a shallow person can sometimes feel like talking to a wall. Their reactions might feel bottled or prepackaged, or they don't seem to show or talk about their emotions. It could be that they're uncomfortable exploring them, or that they just haven't thought much about them, and so they don't have much to say. Shallow people are human too and do feel emotions just like everyone else. Those emotions just tend to not surface in the conversation. Number six, your conversations with them aren't very interesting. Shallow people have shallow conversations. A shallow conversation tends to be one that avoids personal details beyond the materialistic things or revealing too much of one's own inner life. Instead, when you're talking with someone who's superficial, you're probably talking about the latest product, celebrity gossip, or anything else that doesn't require too much brain power. Also, shallow people tend to not ask you very many questions about yourself since they are more concerned with their own lives. Shallow people also tend to avoid topics like politics, morality, or tough psychological, psycho, psychosocial, psycho, whatever questions. My eyes are still kind of messing with me, guys. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Mr. Pac-Man, good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being in here. These things might not interest them, or they have thought very much about them. Number seven, they don't seem to listen to what others have to say. A deeper, thoughtful person often listens to other people more than they talk themselves, but a shallow person often talks without having a whole lot to say, or just plain doesn't pay attention when other people are speaking. To them, if they're not the one doing the talking, it's probably not important. If you do find yourself in an important discussion, With a shallow person, they might ignore or purposely misinterpret your words in order to avoid thinking critically about their own viewpoints. Number 8, their relationships are mostly selfish and aren't meaningful. Selfish people often have trouble connecting to others beyond surface level things, or their interactions don't often move beyond formalities or pleasantries. In addition, the relationships they do form are often for their own personal gain or because the other person can provide something they don't have, like money, social status, or attention. This also means that their relationships are short lived, whether they're friendly or romantic. Hello, Wild Angel. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well. Number 9, they are narrow minded and don't think very deeply. Part of being a well rounded or thoughtful person is examining your own beliefs or giving the beliefs of others real consideration. But someone who's shallow is comfortable with their current way of thinking and doesn't really want to form nuisance opinions on difficult matters. They tend to think more or less the same things they thought years ago with little growth. Also, shallow people tend to believe whatever they're told without taking time to investigate themselves. They're especially susceptible to misinformation on social media. Number 10, they're preoccupied with being liked by others. Sure, it's sometimes important that other people find you agreeable, but being obsessed with other people's opinions of yourself, like a shallow person is, can be downright unhealthy. But a superficial person values social status and popularity over substantial qualities like kindness or understanding. Similarly, they often seem nice on the outside, but you know better. They work hard to maintain a pleasing facade, but tend to be a little mean on the inside. When all is said and done, they might throw you under the bus if it helps them, which I think is wrong. Dealing with a shallow person. Number 1, treat them cordially and with kindness. Shallow people are difficult, we know, but that doesn't make them inherently bad people, just a bit unpleasant. The best way to interact with a shallow person is to meet them where they're at. Listen attentively, stay calm, be polite, and try not to be judgmental. Remember, the last one is a sign of a shallow person. Being confrontational or rude won't do either of you any good. Also, remember that you can leave the conversation at any time if you feel uncomfortable. A quick, "Oh, sorry, but I'm on a tight schedule," makes for an easy and polite excuse to get out of there. Number 2, ask them about their personal lives or interests. You don't have to cure a shallow person, but moving the conversation a bit deeper can make your own experiences a bit better. Ask them things that move past surface level conversation, like, "What are you grateful for right now?" Or if you had one question about the future for a crystal ball, what would you ask? Some shallow people just might not have the many opportunities to talk about profound things. So do them a favor and ask. You might also ask questions like, "What are you passionate about lately?" or "What gets you excited?" They might not have the most profound answers, but it steers the conversation towards the personal, which tends to be more interesting. Don't press them to answer questions they don't feel comfortable with. Shallow people deserve respect too. Number 3, set boundaries about what you will and won't talk about. It's easy to get pulled into an unpleasant conversation when talking to a superficial person, particularly gossip or drama. Set firm boundaries to avoid getting pulled into the drama yourself. If the conversation becomes petty or judgmental, say something like, "Sorry, I don't feel comfortable talking about this," or "I don't like talking about other people that way. Can we talk about something else?" Becoming a deeper person. Number 1, read books or movies outside your comfort zone. Research shows that reading challenging friction improves your empathy as well as other areas of your psychological development. Reading nonfiction or watching profound films too can help you expand your mind, which helps make you a deeper and more profound person. The key is going off the beaten path. A blockbuster might not challenge you in a way that makes you think more about yourself. If you don't know where to start looking for challenging books or films, ask your local librarian. Your library is a great resource, and employees there are eager to recommend titles based on your taste. Number 2, talk to a diverse range of people. When you encounter new people, you're also encountering new perspectives and viewpoints that help to make you a more well-rounded person and develop a good personality. After all, being content with staying in your own head is a shallow trait. Go someplace new to talk to new people, join a sports club, attend a concert, or see if your local community college or community center offers free classes. Start the conversation with something like, "What do you think of this place?" People often have opinions on their surroundings, and it makes a nice icebreaker. Number 3, ask a lot of questions in conversations. It's easy to skip across the surface of conversation without thinking too hard about the things being said. But when you ask questions, you probe deeper into the topic, as well as into the person you're talking to. As a result, your own understanding grows and you become a much better conversation partner. In the process, start by asking why. Why do you think of that? Or why did that happen? People tend to enjoy talking about themselves, whether they're shallow or not. So don't be afraid of ever asking too many questions. Just be sure to ease up a bit if the other person becomes uncomfortable. Okay, that's the first one, guys. That's quite a bit of good information. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe. You'll come in here. Thank you guys so much for being in here. It means so much to me. All right. This one says 34 clear signs of a shallow person and coping strategies. And this was dated 2023, so that was this year. I don't really know the month, but that was this year. Hey, Demetrius, good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well. I hope your sister's doing good. Thank you guys so much for coming in here the other day and hanging out with me. It says 34 clear signs of a shallow person and coping strategies. What to know if you're dealing with a shallow person. Below, you'll discover the telltale signs that a friend or acquaintance of yours is shallow. In my role as a life coach, that's this, I guess, this gentleman on the side. I'm often helping clients how to deal with difficult people in their lives. That's why I'm keen to share this guide with you. Yes, you have a different name. It says Entertainment with Demetrius. So let's dive in. What does it mean to be shallow? If someone is described as shallow, it typically means that they're lacking emotional or intellectual depth. This, of course, is subjective. Still, someone may be considered shallow if they are deemed to only be interested in basic surface level things. What does a shallow personality mean? If someone is considered to have a shallow personality, it is believed that their whole personality revolves around things that aren't ultimately important in the eyes of others. If someone is materialistic, obsessed with their appearance, celebrities, or pop culture, they might be deemed to have a shallow personality. Opposite of a shallow person. The opposite of a shallow person is typically called a deep person. This is someone with a great interest in philosophy, science, politics, sociology. I can't even say certain words. I apologize. Psychology, personal growth, or other factors of life that can have a big impact on the future of the world. A deep person is often interested in making the world a better place, at least for themselves and those closest to them. They typically have no interest in topics which have no significant impact on the world, such as celebrity gossip, reality TV, fashion trends, etc. Hello, Rebelicious. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. What is a shallow person like? If you're a shallow person yourself, you probably get along really well with other shallow men and women, as you have similar interests and values. However, if you're a deep person, or even halfway between these two polar opposites, you may become frustrated with a shallow person's lack of interest in topics which you consider interesting and important. This lack of interest on their part may make it impossible to establish a deep emotional connection with this person. Signs of a shallow person. Here are 34 signs of a shallow person. The more of these signs that match your friend's personality, the more they fit this definition. Number 1, they thrive off gossip and drama. A shallow person enjoys discussing other people's dirty laundry. They love to share any rumors they hear about celebrities or their own acquaintances. This is just one example of ultimately unimportant topics that leave their lips. Number 2, they are deeply materialistic. It's often in their nature to care more about the material things they have rather than experiences they enjoy or the relationships they cultivate. Number 3, they need to follow the latest trends. It's deeply important for shallow people to have the latest gadget, wear the latest clothes, or engage in the latest social media trend. They place a lot of importance on being in style. Number 4, they follow the crowd. A shallow person's obsession with following trends is so intense that it's blind. They will follow even if they don't particularly like the trend. Number 5, their physical appearance is incredibly important. An obsession with their own appearance is another common trait of a shallow person. Number 6, they choose partners based on their appearance. Most people do this to some extent, but shallow people tend to be extremely superficial people and will therefore place a lot more value on the partner's appearance than deeper aspects of who they are as a human being. Number 7, they choose peers based on what they look like. Another example of a shallow person being a superficial person, they don't only want to be considered hot, but also want to be seen as having a hot friendship group. To shallow individuals, ugly people are often considered socially undesirable, which I think that is wrong because people can't help the way they look. You shouldn't judge a book. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Number 8, they judge people based on what they look like. The halo effect of psychological theory, which suggests that good-looking people are viewed more favorably, might impact all of us to some degree, but it would appear to have a far bigger impact on a shallow person. These types of people are far quicker to judge others by their appearance. Number 9, they compare themselves to other people. Again, this is an error that plenty of people fall victim to. The difference is shallow people tend to compare shallow things like beauty, material assets, or Instagram followers. Number 10, their relationships are based on what they can get. You'll notice that shallow people often form social relationships with people who can get them stuff rather than people who truly care about them. They befriend the club promoter who can get them into the VIP, or the Instagram model who can maybe help boost her clout. They'll date the rich guy who can buy them a Gucci purse, even if this man is dating 5 other women. These are shallow relationships. Number 11, they will disappear once the value does. If the stuff that their lover or friend provides disappears, the shallow person will usually disappear from their life too. Shallow people lack empathy and aren't the type to help others through tough times. Number 12, they have no interest in current affairs. When you try to speak about politics, philosophy, history, or other topics that are considered deep, they often lose interest. Number 13, they don't value people's personalities. They might value fun, but they're not overly concerned with personality traits like intelligence, integrity, virtue, or kindness. Number 14, they lack intelligence themselves. This is because they typically have little interest in deep intellectual topics. Number 15, they are often obsessed with social media. These apps present them a chance to curate the perfect self-image for others. Shallow men and women tend to place a lot of value on their amount of followers, likes, and comments they receive. They are also often use this to measure the value of the rest of society. Number 16, their social profiles are superficial. If their profiles are nothing but adverts for how beautiful they are and how much stuff they have, there's a good chance they're a shallow and superficial person in real life too. Number 17, their online dating bio reveals they are a superficial person. You can usually learn a lot about how shallow someone is from their online dating bio. What do they write about themselves and what they're looking for? Do they mention personality traits with depth, or only things like height, looks, status, and money? Number 18, they'd rather hang out at the cool place than a fun place. That's because being seen as a trendy spot is usually more important to them than generally enjoying themselves. Number 19, they'd rather hang out with the cool people than the fun people. Again, their perceived social status is more important, especially in this age where we can snap and upload a photo within moments. Number 20, their heroes are superficial people. Who are the public figures they admire? Are they people with talent, intelligence, and a history of overcoming adversity? Or are they rich and beautiful people with a clout and a dream lifestyle? Number 21, they have little interest in getting to know someone. Shallow people are often poor listeners. They're rarely keen to get to know people or even listen to the words they say. It is in their nature to be more interested in the superficial things they have. It is opposite for deep people. For this reason, many will get frustrated at their inability to develop a deep relationship with a shallow person. Number 22, they surround themselves with other shallow people. This is mostly because these are the only types of people they get along with. Number 23, they want to go on dates to fancy places. That's because a luxurious lifestyle is more important to them than getting to know someone and cultivating a meaningful relationship. Number 24, they want to show off their social experiences more than they enjoy them. If they're filming an experience on their phone more than they're actually enjoying the moment, that's another surefire sign of a shallow person. Number 25, they're obsessed with brands. For a shallow person, the brand image is more important than the function of an item. Number 26, they show off their money. A shallow person is the most likely to show off their riches to other people and the least likely to be rumble about how much money they have. Number 27, they're obsessed with what other people think of them. This might be a given considering everything you've read so far, but it's true nevertheless. This unstoppable desire to impress other people often stems from a deep sense of low self-esteem. Number 28, they're obsessed with clout and online followers. For the shallow and superficial person with low self-esteem, these social metrics serve as proof that they are a worthy person. Not everyone needs these numbers, but shallow individuals can place their entire sense of self-worth on them. Hello, Pink Fan. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well, honey. Number 29, they want to be the center of attention. While wanting to be the center of attention isn't a defining trait of a shallow person, it is common for them to believe the world revolves around them. Number 30, they will probably betray you. Shallow people are often disloyal. You'll commonly witness them step over you. That means boosting their own status or clout. Number 31, they will bail on plans if something better comes along. This is one of the most common ways that shallow individuals betray their friends and show a lack of loyalty. Hello, Miss Penny. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well, darling. Number 32, they are hypergamous. This lack of loyalty extends to their long-term relationship too. If an opportunity to date someone with more resources crops up, a shallow person is most likely to ditch their partner and take that opportunity. Number 33, they won't do anything that doesn't benefit them. Selfishness is one of the most common traits of shallow people. Their shallow desires come before anything else. Number 34, they have no deeper purpose. A long-term life purpose is one of the most fulfilling things that human beings can find. Yet shallow people often have no other concerns beyond looking cool, having fun, and buying things. This might appear to be the sole aim of their lives. Frequently asked questions about shallow people. Let's round off the article with some answers to some frequently asked questions about shallow people. Are shallow people bad? There's nothing inherently bad about shallow people. Most of the personality traits listed above don't hurt anyone, although their lack of loyalty can be particularly frustrating. Like I always say, we all have feelings. So just be careful, guys. If you don't get along with a shallow person, don't waste your energy on hating them or telling others how bad they are. Simply accept that you have different interests and move on with your life. How to deal with a shallow person. There's no point trying to change a shallow person, as they most likely want to change. won't want to change. If you don't happen to enjoy your social interactions with them, your best course of action is stop dealing with them altogether. If you don't have you don't if you don't have to spend time with them, cut them out of your life. What to say to a shallow person? If you want to befriend a shallow person or you have dealt with them, your best strategy is to let them talk and talk about topics that interest them. This is a classic tip from how to win friends and influence people. And it works with deeper people too. If you want to have deep conversation, find someone who is interested in doing that. Is it possible to have a healthy relationship with a shallow person? A lot of shallow people are self centered and only interested in shallow aspects of other people's personalities. As such, it's tough to develop a relationship with emotional depth. Does that mean that it's impossible to have a fulfilling friendship or relationship with a shallow and superficial people? Perhaps not. It all depends on what you're looking for or what you're looking for from them. You might not see shallowness as a bad thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. For my final thoughts on the topic, allow me to remind you that shallowness is subjective. You may well be deemed shallow by someone with incredible intellectual depth. The people that others consider shallow might be intellectually stimulating to you. It's a matter of perspective. Okay, that was a lot to go over, guys. Hopefully, we're all learning a little bit. Hold on just a second, guys. It says 12 signs of a shallow person in your friend and family circle. Happy 4th of July, Pink Fan Honey. It says, this was dated May the 2nd, 2022. It seems that today's society favors shallow people. It's not coincidence that mind-numbing music, dumb celebrities, and stupid reality TV shows are in trend. After all, it's easier to fool people who perceive life superficially and don't think for themselves. But how do you recognize a shallow person in your circle? There are some distinct traits and behaviors that are common in such individuals. But before we list them, let's point out what it means to be shallow. What is a shallow person? The definition: the word shallow describes someone who has superficial interests and values and is incapable of in-depth thinking. Typically, it's a person driven by selfish impulses and trivial needs. The word shallow means lacking substance. So this is what perfectly describes people who have this trait. In a sense, they're empty inside. They're mainly concerned about projecting a nice-looking facade and making a good impression on others. They care less about the things that truly matter, such as living life on purpose and being a decent human being. 12 signs that you are dealing with a shallow person. Number 1, they are narrow-minded and incapable of critical thinking. First of all, they have superficial perception of life, information, and other people. Shallow people tend to take things at face value. They are uninterested in getting to the truth and deviling into the core reasons for happenings. They don't think in depth and don't assess information from different angles. Critical thinking requires effort and open-mindedness, something that these people don't have. A shallow person doesn't bother themselves with too much analysis, be it their personal life, political events, or work matters. They don't devote time to thinking it over and figuring out their unique point of view. Shallow individuals don't ask themselves if what they hear is true. They take in any information without processing it. This is why they go with the crowd, as it's easier than thinking for themselves. Number 2, they are petty-minded. Shallow people rarely care about anything that goes beyond their personal concerns and day-to-day happenings. They don't pose to get big questions out of life and aren't concerned about global issues. They just can't see the big picture. All they ever think about is the little world of superficial interests and daily problems. They can also be petty in conflict situations and impose their selfish needs on others. For example, your shallow sister won't care to consider your difficult financial situation and will hold grudges because you refuse to lend her money. Number 3, they have superficial interests and meaningless pastimes. Being a shallow and petty-minded person also means having a preference for meaningless pastimes. Such individuals choose to spend their free time with activities that don't require much thinking, creativity, or effort. They find joy in the things such as watching TV or reality TV shows and gossiping on the phone. You can clearly see if you have conversation with a shallow person, they will talk about the most trivial things from day-to-day happenings at work to the latest celebrity gossip. They will avoid deep topics because they don't really think. They don't really ever think about such matters, so they have nothing to add to the conversation. The only thing they can do is repeat someone else's ideas. Number 4, they are judgmental. The superficially of thinking is key trait of a shallow person. For this reason, they will easily jump to conclusions without considering all the aspects of the situation. They don't try to understand other people's motives or relate to their experiences. Because of this trait, shallow individuals can be judgmental. While we are all judged one another to some extent, someone with a shallow personality will do it based on the criteria that lie on the surface. My guinea pig's going crazy, guys. It's going in circles. It's doing relays in its cage. Says, for example, they may reject a person because the job they do is not prestigious enough or ridicule someone for their looks. A shallow individual's thinking is deeply biased, and this will also show their perception of other people. Number 5, they do their best to seem not being nice to others. A telling sign of a shallow person is that they're more concerned about the impression they make on others than being a decent human being. They put effort into seeming nice to others but not being so. They may smile at the people they secretly hate and pretend that they agree with someone just because they need a favor from them. Since shallow individuals give a great importance of superficial things, they tend to be skillful at having polite conversations, making a good impression, and showing nicer than they really are. Number 6, they're selfish. Selfish people, guys. Selfishness is among the basic traits of a shallow person. The level of the perception is too superficial, which makes them unable to consider other people's needs and feelings. They will only care about their own comfort and well-being. Shallow people's behavior will also reveal the signs of egocentrism. They may be petty and make a big deal out of most trivial things, such as what car seat to take during the road trip. They will insist on making things their way. A shallow individual may sometimes act childish when they don't get what they want. It can be pretty difficult to deal with them in conflict situations. Number 7, they follow trends. Someone with a shallow personality will keep up with the trends even if they don't go after the majority. They will follow specific ideologies and lifestyles just because they are on the hype. For example, they might go vegan because it's trendy, not because they truly believe that that's the right choice. They may also use it to show off and feel superior to others. Even a shallow person goes against the widely accepted preferences, beliefs, or lifestyles in reality. They still follow the crowd. Oftentimes, they just want to be labeled themselves and daring rebels who are so far ahead of others. In the end, it's all superficial and fake, and it doesn't reflect their true beliefs. That's why I always say, please be yourself. It is okay to be yourself, guys. Don't be something that you're not. Be yourself. Be your true self. And people will respect that. And if they don't, like I say, it's their loss, not yours. You just be you. Number 8, they have materialistic values. Being shallow means going after materialistic values and money-oriented goals. Such people give a great importance to financial prosperity. They also care about projecting an image of a perfect life full of luxury and abundance. That person is shallow. They may use their credit card to buy high-brand clothes and the latest tech gadgets. They desperately need to show off and are less concerned about living beyond their means. This focus on materialistic values inevitably affects all areas of their lives. For example, they may pick friends based on their social status to make sure they have useful connections. A shallow woman may marry a man from a wealthy family and not love him at all. A shallow man may work at a job he hates and the people he dislikes because it brings him good income. They both ignore the fact that they are deeply unhappy. The happiness is not their main priority in life. Money comes first. Number 9, they care a lot about the physical appearance and superficial qualities. It makes sense that shallow people don't care about the substance. All they're concerned about is disguise. That is why they give much importance to the physical appearance, both their own and that other people. For example, they may judge others based on their looks only. In general, shallow people care the most about the qualities that lie on the surface. It may be someone's social status, material wealth, and good manners. For this reason, they also make sure they project their best and most attractable possible selves onto others. Their social media will be full of Photoshop selfies and photos from chic cafes and restaurants. Number 10, they love gossip. Hold on a minute, guys. They love gossip, a deep person uninterested in discussing others. Gossiping is a hobby of shallow people that aims to create an illusion of an interesting life. In reality, they just distract themselves from the emptiness inside. That's why they love drama and snooping into other people's personal lives. Gossiping may also make shallow people feel better about themselves by belittling others and going on about the details of their lives. If a shallow friend asks you a personal question, be sure that they are just looking for for gossip. They're not really interested to know how you're doing. Number 11, they fight for the spotlight. As we said above, people with shallow personalities are driven by selfish impulses. That's why they love being in the spotlight. It feeds their an illusion of self-importance. So their behavior will often aim to get everyone's attention. For example, they may show signs of conversational narcissism when it, when they interrupt other people and talk about themselves all the time. Or they may boost a lot of exaggerate their achievements. They may even adopt some eccentric behaviors with the only purpose of having everyone's attention. Their relationships and social connections lack substance. A shallow person doesn't care about building genuine connections with others. All they want to do is have friends and romantic experience because this is what everyone else does. That's why a superficial individual chooses to surround themselves with confident people, convenient people. It doesn't matter whether these people are right company for them. They pick friends and partners based on superficial qualities, such as financial well being. Sometimes their relationships and friendships are totally built on lies, but shallow people are perfectly fine with living a lie. They care more about taking advantage of those around them and fulfilling their own selfish desires through others. To sum up, someone who is shallow won't bring quality to your circle. You can't have deep conversations and share your personalities, experiences with them. They don't really care about others and are only concerned about their selfish needs. So think twice before letting such individuals into your life. Okay, guys. Then we have, let's see. Also, if anybody would like to donate to my stream, they don't have to, but if anybody would like to, it is scrolling at the bottom of my screen. I have PayPal and Cash App. Like I said, you don't have to. It's not required. I just appreciate y'all coming in here and supporting me and being there for me. But if you would like to, then it's scrolling at the bottom of my screen. It is also being shared by Notbot in chat. If y'all would like to, it'd be much appreciated. If like I said, if you can't understand, it's not all about that anyway, guys. It's about y'all coming in here and supporting me and getting the awareness and support and the information that I provide, the positivity. It just, like I said, it's not required, but it would be much appreciated. All right, guys, let's see. Superficial people, 11 warning signs of a shallow person. Superficial people are basically the same thing as a shallow person. I did some research and seeing if it was the same person, because I was like, well, why in the world's my cat? I thought I'd turn it back on. If a shallow person and a superficial person is pretty much the same thing, then I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna publish that or not. But come to find out, when I looked in there, it said that it was the same thing. Pink fan, send me a friend's request, love. And Rebel. Or Rocket Queen, send me her name and I'll send her a friend's request if it'll let me. If that's okay, Pink fan, I'd love to be your friend, which I'm already your friend, but you know what I mean. There might be affiliate links on this page, which means we get us. I don't care. I don't care about the commission. Let's see. Wait a minute. Are you concerned that someone you just met, a close friend, or perhaps even the partner lying next to you in bed is a superficial person? You're not alone in these concerns, and you are not crazy to have them. There are millions of superficial people wandering around this world of ours. So it is important to provide people with the insight they need to know how to spot these character traits in another human being. It will save you from wasting precious time and energy on a relationship that may not be worth it. You may also be reading this article because you're afraid that you might be a superficial one. From the way you communicate to the body language you give off, you may also possess some of the traits of a superficial person. Says it's a good thing and a testament to your character that you would pause for moments of introspection into your life to ensure that you don't make the mistake of thinking that everything is just fine when in reality it's not. Well, I have my personal one and then I have the tattooed angel one, honey. You can send either one. You can send either one, sweetie. Let's see. It's a good thing and a testament to your character that you would pause for moments of introspection into your life to ensure that you don't make the mistake of thinking that everything is just fine when in reality it's not. When there are parts of your personality that need to be cleaned up. As you read along about the ways to identify a superficial person, you might see things that remind you of yourself. That's okay. But if it happens repeatedly, then it may be time to consider if you're a superficial person too. What makes a person superficial? When you meet a superficial person for the first time, you likely sense it, a feeling in your soul from the first moment you interact with them. Okay, Pink fan, honey. It is challenging to put in the words what it is about them that makes them seem so superficial or fake, but you get the sense that they are as soon as they begin to speak. It's important that you listen to your instincts when attempting to judge if someone is superficial, but you might also want to consider some factors as well before writing someone off completely. Also remember that it is possible that you are a superficial person yourself and you're basically projecting your worst flaws onto another. Until you can completely rule this out, you might want to give it some special consideration. After all, we all should be striving towards improving ourselves. It says before you get too far down on the path of judging another person for being superficial and not worthy of your time, you must ask yourself how you come off to them. Before we are to evaluate the heart and personality of another person, we must first look inward to see where we stand. Taking even a few moments for mindfulness in our day can pay off huge dividends when we start to see how some of the actions and words that we use in our daily life impacts others. If we are not mindful of our own shortcomings, then it is hard to point the finger at others and say they must be mindful of theirs. When evaluating a person, we should always try to remember that there's often more than meets the eye. We only see the parts of themselves that they want to show us, and we are not always privy to parts of the world that they may decide to keep under the wraps at the moment. They may be hiding something because they generally want to keep that information from us, or they may simply feel embarrassed or less than pleased about some aspect of their personality. If that's the case, then we should try to extend them some grace and understanding on this, as long as their actions are not directly hurting us at this time. That being said, while it is true that you should be cautious about judging another person too harshly, which honestly you shouldn't judge them at all, that's just my opinion, you should also consider the fact that there are people who see only as someone to take advantage of. You are definitely wise to let yourself keep your guard up whenever dealing with someone that you aren't quite certain about. There are many potentially dangerous people out there, and you should give yourself the space to judge each individual based on the way they present themselves to you and to the world. Superficial people, 11 warning signs of a superficial person. Number one, a lack of conviction. It is simply not possible to have opinion about every single topic in the world, but it is troubling when someone doesn't seem to have an opinion about literally anything at all happening in the world. When that is the case, we may begin to wonder if we're dealing with a superficial person. A lack of conviction on virtually any topic means that the individual is simply going with the winds of change as they feel them moving through the air. They may appear to just be trying to agree with whatever the audience around them wants to hear. But what it can really mean is that they are facing a problem with being a superficial person. They lack the ability to be decisive on any issue, and they therefore have a superficial nature about them. Number two, their relationships are self-centered. Have you ever been around a person who only seems to care about what they can get out of a relationship? It doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship that we are talking about here, though it can be. But any relationship that seems to have a very self-centered and self-interested party can be the sign of a superficial person. Superficial people care only about what they can take from any relationship. They are not known for wanting to give back, and they tend to make it very clear right from the start that they are not going to contribute. Sorry, guys. Contribute more than they absolutely have to in order to maintain the relationship. They will put in bare minimum effort to keep the other person from drifting away, but they are constantly to be taken from the relationship all they can possibly get. When this is the case, it often leads to the other party feeling very hurt and unhappy, and it's a good sign that this relationship needs to be terminated. Number three, backstabbing comes natural to them, and I'm going to stop for just a second. This backstabbing, I think, gosh, my eyes are bothering me. Sorry, but guys. On this one, because I read a little bit over this before I decided to share it with you guys. I think being a backstabber is awful. I've been backstabbed in my life several times. So you kind of open up to people that you thought trust, come to find out, stab you in the back, and then they're two-faced. And, this is what I say. My personal opinion about this is stay real, be yourself, or stay the hell away from me, because I am too, I'm a grown woman, and I don't have to deal with bullshit, controversy, drama, or nothing like that. I stay away from it. And that's how, you're going to be, if y'all ever been backstabbed, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have, it sucks. But I think personally, to make the world a better place, like we've been talking about, and to be the positive side of a shallow person, you're not, nobody's better than nobody else. You have to stay humble, but in order to be the good in the world, then, we can't backstab people. We can't be fake. We can't, go behind somebody's back and talk about them or talk about their children or whatever the case may be. People shouldn't be doing that. That's not right. You got to stay humble because, like I always say, words hurt. They might be forgiven, but they're not forgotten. We're all human. We all have feelings. So people need to be careful what they do. It might make them look like a big and bad person because they're, saying he said, she said, and backstabbing you, and you're thinking they're your true friend when in all reality they're just faking it. It sucks. It sucks, and that's why I always say people need to be their self. People need to be their self. That's the most important thing that you could do for yourself is to be yourself. That's just my opinion, guys. Number 3, backstabbing comes natural to them. Greed is good are the famous words from the fictional Wall Street tycoon Gordo Gecko in the movie Wall Street. He was a type of character who had no problem at all backstabbing others. This meant that he could climb just a little higher on the wealth ladder. He was certainly a superficial character, but there are people just like him in real life. They don't mind taking cheap shots at other people if they feel like it will advance their own position in some way. It is scary to be around people like this for long because they tend to be self-consumed and so willing to throw people under the bus that you'll never know if you might be the next on their list. Number 4, they are judgmental by nature. And like I said, I don't get all religious. This is my opinion. But, I've always said this, only God can judge me. Nobody's perfect. So, y'all, gosh, my eyes giving me a fit. But nobody's perfect. So, I'm just putting that out there. That's my opinion, guys. Being overly critical of others is a sign that a person you're speaking with may be rather superficial. While they project flaws on others, they may not be addressing the elephant in the room that is their own flaws. They have their own demons too, guys. They are gleeful at picking apart other people, but they don't stop to assess their own failings. This is because they are superficial and care only about knocking other people down rather than trying to understand those same people and how they operate. If they were to stop and think about things like this, perhaps they would be less likely to jump on someone's case for some minor flaw here and or there. Number 5, I apologize. My eyes are giving me a fit. Hold on a minute, guys. I don't know if it's allergies where it's stinking rain today and then the sun came out and rain and sun and rain and sun. It's aggravating me. Hold on just a second, guys. I gotta wipe my darn eye. Aggravate me, Lord have mercy. I'm hoping it's just allergies because they've been bothering me for quite some time now. So, says gossip is a second nature to them. A little light gossip here and there never hurt anyone, but engaging in gossip all the time is a sign of a superficial person. Why do they spend so much time of their time and energy thinking about other people? Why is it so important to them that the world knows all the dirty laundry of another person? Could it be that they are afraid of having some of their own dirty laundry aired out to dry for the rest of the world to see? This is a leading theory that goes a long way to explaining why some people just can't seem to get enough of the gossip train. They should be focused on other concerns, but they just can't break themselves away from talking about others and how those people are supposed less deserving of the care and attention that they so readily demand. Number 6, they demand a spotlight. Human beings want the attention to be focused on themselves at certain points in time, no matter what. But it is worrying if you notice that someone you care about demands that they always be the center of attention at all times. I know some people like that. I'm sure you guys do too. Why is it that they get away with turning the spotlight on themselves all the time? And why must they always be the center of attention? And it is likely because they are superficial. In fact, that they insist on people always talking about or thinking about them is something they should be a warning sign to everyone else that they are dealing with someone who is very superficial. Number 7, they frequently turn down invitations. Some people are naturally homebodies and don't like to get out much at all. It doesn't mean they are superficial. That said, you should be on the lookout for people who absolutely never want to leave their homes, no matter what kind of event they are invited to. Why would they be so unwilling to ever get out of their bubble and interact with other people? Those who are very superficial might find it difficult to be around other people because there is a good chance that they might get called out on some of their less than desirable attributes. They want to avoid being around those who are willing to say what other people are thinking. Number 8, they are into sabotaging your success. There's nothing natural or normal about someone you care about getting in the way and trying to sabotage your success. It is a troubling thing to hear that there are some people who have gotten no problem at all standing in the way of the progress and success of others. Sadly, we know this happens, and you might have wondered why this was the case. It could be that they are trying to tear you down before you can do the same to them. You may not have any desire whatsoever to tear this person down, but they can sometimes get in their head that you will make an attempt to take a swap at them. If they feel threatened like this, you can expect that they might come after you in a way that sabotages your success. You will want to steer clear of them both because they have seemingly poor character, and also because you don't want to suffer whatever may thrown at you in their attempt to maintain their ego. Number 9, they talk over you. It's annoying and frustrating, a sign of immaturity. If someone feels that they have to say, what to say is so important that they don't mind talking over you to get their point across to others, then what are they saying about the things you care about? They clearly feel that their words are more important than yours, and that is very hurtful. At a certain point, it is easy to lose compassion for someone who continues to behave so rudely. Number 11, they exclusively wear brand name clothes. You might not think that what someone wears could say much about their internal personality, but that's not the case. When people focus exclusively on wearing brand name clothes, they're saying that they value how they appear to others more than they care about saving money on less expensive options. Additionally, they are saying they want people to stand up and take notice of what they're wearing. Basically, they are not okay with people not noticing their latest looks, and that is yet another attempt to bring the spotlight back to them. Number 11, they talk about celebrities a lot. Everyone has a celebrity or two they like to follow. However, it can be a big red flag for superficial tendencies when a person talks about exclusively about celebrities. There's a certain allure that comes with celebrities that some people just can't help but pine for. But today's celebrities are highly superficial people that are marketed to us as the ideal type of person being. It is a sad state of affairs, and it is sad that many people believe that this is how they need to live, and if they want to be rich and famous. The average person who spends a lot of time talking about celebrities is someone who wishes they were a celebrity themselves. And they may, and that may point to someone who is very superficial in their dealings with others. Final thought on superficial people. There are so many warning signs and red flags that the universe tries to throw our way when altering us of a personality is potentially toxic personality. We just don't always choose to see them. Among the worst type of person is a superficial one, perhaps only the second to the abusive personality. If you feel that someone you are dealing with in your own life may be somewhat or entirely superficial, you should know that you're not mistaken for perhaps thinking so. Give them some time to explain themselves or for you to get them know them better. But never forget that your gut instinct is something that is often correct as well. That's some great information. I believe I have one more, guys. Yes, I do. It says how to stop being so shallow. I mean, in my opinion, and I think this is just my opinion, shallow people can be, in my opinion, can be shady people. This is just my opinion, guys. It's just my opinion. Not everything is about anybody else. That's why I always say stay humble. There seem to be two types of people in this world, shallow and deep. You probably have some idea who deep people are. Their thoughts, feelings, and words have depth. They have the ability to see beyond the surface. Shallow people are the complete opposite. They lack depth of their thoughts, words, feelings, and knowledge. They're more concerned with superficial things and can't seem to go deeper. Highly sensitive people are introverts, and people hurt who are both are more likely to be deep, whereas extroverts are low sensitive people and people who are both are more likely to be shallow. Before we discuss how to stop being shallow, let's first get a look at identifying shallow people. Signs of shallow people, besides being an extrovert and or low insensitivity, following the signs someone is likely to be a shallow person. Number one, they avoid deep conversations. Since a shallow person can't think deeply, they have little to contribute to deep conversations. So they avoid deep conversations like the plague. They might even make fun of people who had deep conversations to cover up their inferiority they feel from not being able to take part in such conversations. Number two, they avoid talking about their feelings. A shallow person cares a lot about appearance and impressing others. Talking about one's feelings involves showing one's vulnerable side. Since a shallow person wants to appear perfect, and nobody's perfect, guys, they avoid showing their vulnerable side, even to the people who are close to them. They don't form meaningful relationships with people. Number three, a shallow person's relationships are just like them, shallow. People form meaningful relationships with other people when they can connect deeply with them. A shallow person lacks the ability to connect deeply with people. Their relationships hardly go beyond the pleasantries and the formalities. Number four, they are close-minded. Thinking deeply has a lot to do with setting aside your preconceived notions, questioning your beliefs, and seeing things from different perspectives. A shallow person wants none of that. They're content with their preferred and safe ways of thinking about the world. Number five, they're attention seekers. Since shallow people are caught up in trying to impress others, they like having all the attention on themselves. They talk loudly and over people so they can take the lion's share of attention in social situations. Number six, they like empathy. Shallow people have an air of selfishness to them. They seem to not care about others at all. They prefer being friends only with those who can benefit them materially. Deeper, more meaningful relationships go beyond material benefits. Number seven, they identify with their material possessions. More often than not, they buy things not because they need them, but because they want to brag about them. They find it hard to give up their prized material possessions because losing those would mean losing a part of themselves. Number eight, they lack consideration for others and put them down. Again, it's just a way to make themselves look better. They find a weak and an assertive person and constantly put them down in front of others. The assertive person may accept the bullying because the shallow person says, I'm just joking. How many times have we heard that? Yes, mutual joking and teasing is a healthy part of the friendships, but of equal friendships. If the unassertive person dares to make a joke on the shallow person, the latter will get real pissed. Why a shallow person may want to become deeper. First off, there isn't a single person out there, deep or shallow, who doesn't want to improve their relations with people. Most just don't know how. Becoming a bit deeper will greatly help shallow people to connect with others, especially deep people. When a deep person enters a relationship with a shallow person, it's quite frustrating for the former. The shallow person may love them, but because they can't connect with them deeply, the deep person feels a tad unsatisfied. If you're a shallow person trying to connect with a deep person, you don't have to overhaul your personality overnight, but you can take small steps today to have a deeper connection with the deep people you care about. How to stop being shallow. Follow the practical things you can do to stop being shallow. Number one, improve your communication skills. Number two, talk more about the inner world. Number three, talk less about the surface level things. Number four, cultivate interest in deeper topics. Number five, be open-minded. Number six, practice being non-judgmental. Number seven, unleash your creativity. Number eight, don't let your possessions own you. Number nine, appreciate the beauty in the simple things. Number one, improve your communication skills. Overall, overcome the tendency to talk more than you listen. Doing the simple thing will improve your relationships with deep people significantly. Even if you're not really interested in what they have to say, the simple act of listening to them will validate them and foster a connection. Number two, talk more about your inner world. Talk more about your thoughts and feelings. When you talk about your thoughts and feelings, others like she is a human being I can relate to. It increases your closeness with people. Talking about how things make you feel. Talk about your experiences and your reactions to those experiences. Number 3, talk less about service level things. You might love small talk and celebrity gossip, but try going deeper for once. Practice becoming a good thinker. Surround yourself with deep people, and their ways of thinking will rub off on you. It'll open a whole new world for you. Hello, Juju. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well, sweetie. Number 4, cultivate interest in deeper topics. I know interest can't be faked. You're interested in something or you're not, but interest can be cultivated. Try learning more about deep topics. The more you dig into them, the more likely it is that you develop an interest in them. At the very least, try to cultivate a minimum level of interest in the things that deep people in your life care about. You don't have to become a pro. Just try to gain some basic knowledge so you can have good conversation. Number 5, be open-minded. Being open-minded entails breaking out of your intellectual comfort zone often. Think and talk about the things you never thought of and talk about before. If you do this regularly, you'll leave shallowness and being boring far behind. Number 6, practice being non-judgmental. We humans are judgmental by nature. Its tendency is worst in shallow people. When you get tempted to criticize someone's hairstyle or dressing sense, don't. Remind yourself that a person is more than their looks. And second, you're just trying to feel better about yourself. You're free to think what you want about people, but avoiding verbalizing your low opinions of superficial things about them. Number 7, unleash your creativity. By being shallow, you're not just ruining your relationships, you're often also stifling your creativity. Creativity and deep thinking go hand in hand. If you can't stretch your mind to new horizons, you can't become creative. Creativity and thinking outside the box show you have depth of thought. Number 8, don't let your possessions own you. You own your possessions, they don't own you. Move away from identifying which material things to identify with your personal qualities so that even if you lose your possessions, you won't lose yourself. Number 9, appreciate the beauty in the simple things. If you're a shallow person, you frequently miss the beauty in the simple things around you. You're too caught up in celebrity gossip to appreciate the sunset. You're too caught up in impressing others to appreciate movies, music, art, and poetry. Hello, Mary Jane. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing well. Make time for those things, and your life will become more colorful and you'll become less shallow. Final words, becoming a deep person is mainly about shifting focus from the outer superficial world to the inner world. But become too deep, and you may become an impractical, overly sentimental, and an off-putting person. Becomes too shallow in your relationships, creativity, and open-mindedness will suffer. As with many things in life, it's about balance. Look deeply into yourself and into the things, but also keep an eye on the surface. I think that's the last one, guys. Let me check. Yes. Hold on just a second, guys. If y'all haven't hit the like, please hit the like when you come in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And like I said a few minutes ago, if y'all would like to donate to the stream, like for like StreamYard and just anything to help the stream out, it's scrolling at the bottom of my page, Cash App and PayPal. You don't have to, but it would be much, much appreciated. Unfortunately, StreamYard is not free. So, that's what sucks about it. So if y'all can, I would appreciate it. If you can't, I just appreciate y'all being in here. It truly means so much to me, guys. It truly does. All right, guys. My aunt is giving me a fit. I'm going to have to give me some special eye drops or something. I'm telling you, it's driving me crazy. All right, I'm going to pull up the StreamYard link for about 35 minutes. I'm going to end at 2 hours or a little bit after 2 hours. And y'all come up here and tell me what you think about a shallow person. and the stuff that we covered. Tell me what y'all's opinions are about it. Everybody, like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So, and we don't judge here, not at all. So, I'm kind of curious to see what y'all think about it. To see what y'all think about it. We have 19 people, or 17. I'm sorry, 2 people bounced off. 17 people in watching. Thank you guys so much for being in here. Please make sure y'all hit that like and share and subscribe if y'all haven't done so. Thank you guys so much. Oh my goodness, my eyes just give me a fit, guys. Whew, Lord have mercy, I'm telling you. Yeah, but I think that shallow people, they deserve love too. But the thing about it, this is my opinion. They deserve love too, and they're people too. But they're going to have to learn to be more compassionate. They're going to have to learn, quit being all about themselves, and start stepping out the box and start learning to care for other people. It doesn't matter what people look like. It doesn't matter what kind of clothes they wear. It doesn't matter how much money they have. They're people. It does not matter whatsoever, because that's how you're going to make a difference in somebody's life. If you judge somebody by the way they look or by the way they dress or something like that, you're not going to live a positive attitude, and you're not going to be the good in the world. That's my opinion, guys. So, you just be humble and kind to one another. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter. You don't know what somebody's going through. And just because that shallow person has all kinds of money or whatever the case may be, and they're all about themselves, they can easily, find deep in themselves to pull out their true self and be able to turn into a deeper person. I'm going to try Rocket Queen. They're aggravating me. They truly are. Hello, Hindsight 2020. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well, darling. I'm trying. They're just really aggravating me. They really, truly are. They really, truly are. I don't know if it's allergies. I have no idea. They're just aggravating me. They really aggravate me, guys. They're really burning and itching, and I'm trying not to rub them, but it's very hard. Can only pray for them and see. Rebelicious said, can only pray for him and hope they see the way they're being and make that change. Absolutely, honey. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I know that people can do good, and I know there's good people out there, but people don't need to act like they're better than anybody else. Like I've said before, you can't take money with you when you go. You can't take all this material stuff with you when you go. You're still, everybody's human. Everybody has feelings. So why not try to be a good person? It doesn't hurt to try and try to be more humbler. There's a lot of shallow people in this world. There's you see a lot on YouTube, of course, because YouTube is the YouTube streets are rough. But that's what I'm saying, in real life and on YouTube, social media and stuff like that, you see a lot of it. And it's very sad that people can't be themselves because they're so freaking judgmental. Like, it's crazy. It's very sad that people are like that because they don't look on the inward. They look on the outward. You could be the ugliest person in the world, and I don't even like to say that, but you could be, your looks doesn't matter. It's what's inside that counts, and that's what makes you a beautiful person. That's just my opinion, guys. Have you tried antihistamines? That would drive me crackers back in. I take a Benadryl at night, and I'm telling you, they're aggravating me. I don't know, and it's having like today, it piss poured a monsoon outside. It was sunny, hot as hell, and then it piss poured a monsoon, and then my eyes were semi okay, and then now it's like they're just aggravating me. It is very aggravating when you see little like spots on the sides like this. Like I said, it's hard to explain it, but I don't have a ceiling fan. But sometimes out of the corner of my eyes, the peripheral or whatever it's called, it looks like that there's a ceiling fan going. Like the shadows of a ceiling fan. That's what it looks like. Not all the time, but every now and then, that's what it looks like in the side of my peripheral or whatever it's called, the side of my eyes. And I don't know. I really don't know. And my sugar, and I'm a diabetic, and my sugar is good. I take my medicine. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And I hate going to this thinking eye doctor because they want to dilate your eyes. And then if it's really sunny outside, you can't see nothing. It's aggravating. It's aggravating. It really is. And I put a warm washcloth on it and I wipe off all the air. I call them. I'm not trying to be graphic or nothing like that. But I try to wipe off the eye boogies. That's what I call them. And the sleep. I try to wipe them off with a warm rag. But they're attaching to, whatever it is attaching to my eyelashes. And every time I blink, it feels real heavy. And it's itching. It's itching. It's aggravating me. Revelation says mine have been getting cloudy, sticky, water, and hurt. It's an eye migraine. What can you do for an eye migraine? It's just aggravating. I've had it for over a week. It's aggravating me. It's both eyes, but this one's the worst one. This one's the worst one.
You take Tylenol.
Yeah, he said I need to take Tylenol or penicillin.
I use the penicillin.
Oh, Lord. Say hi to him.
What's up? I will get over it, but I'm halfway in my birthday suit.
Yeah, we had the same kind of weather. It was nice to actually have some rain, refreshing and cooler. Well, it didn't refresh us. It made it hotter. Migraine with aura. But it's not so much. It's weird because I don't really have head pain.
Really?
Can you have what? I didn't. Tyler did. But I don't have no head pain. And I don't have it's not sinuses. Because if you touch right here, it doesn't really hurt. Can you have a migraine without your head hurting? Can you do that? I'm not really for sure. Blinking, it hurts. It's really just in my eyes. That's all it is. It's just in my eyes. One's a little bit worse than the other one. It's very aggravating. Very aggravating. It's like you're constantly blinking because if you're looking at something, it's kind of like you got a fog. That's why I had to constantly, when I read, I had to constantly turn my camera off and try to wipe my eyes with a rag because it was kind of like I had a fog over it. So that's why some of the certain words was having it was causing me some issues. Your eyes need to rest. I squeeze my eyes closed for a few seconds. Well, I've been getting rest. I get at least 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night. It's just, I don't know. Is it stress? Hell, I don't know. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't want to go to the stinking eye doctor, but I might have to if it don't stop. Some people I have head pain, and sometimes I don't, but still feel pressure in my eyes. This is highlighting some behavior in some people for sure. Absolutely, Juju. Then repeat till you feel the back of your eyes different to sleep. Well, see, my thing is because I suffer with so much mental. I'm just saying because I suffer with so much mental. It's like my body's asleep, but my mind's still racing. And it's very aggravating. It's very aggravating, truly. And I'm on medication for night terrors and stuff like that because I do have them. I jump in my sleep. I fight in my sleep. I scrabble. So it's like my brain, like I've said before, and y'all get a kick out of it. Y'all think it's funny, but you can't very well take your brain out and put it on the side of the table and tell it to go to sleep and be a good kid, you know what I mean, or whatever, and put it back the next morning so you can equally rest. You can't do that. So I don't know how to just try and see if I can, I don't know. Wild Angel said, all the info really shows just how complex people can be. Absolutely, honey. That's what I said. What's wrong? That's probably, I mean, that's just my opinion, guys. It really, really shows how people are in this world, and it's terrible. I have a film over my vision, and eye boogies is what I call them because I'm a mom, you know. But I don't know. At first, I thought it was pink eyes, so I looked up that information, and it's not pink or nothing like that. My eyes are not pink whatsoever. I don't know. It's good to see you, Mr. Michigan. I hope you're doing well, brother. I'm trying to find some food. Feels like they're kind of dry, which I suffer with dry eyes anyway, but I've never had nothing like this. It's very aggravating. It's very aggravating. But I think, I mean, my personal opinion, I think that's one reason the world is the way they are, and the way they are. The the world is how it is now, you know, because like I said, because of shallow people, you know, shallow people, and I don't know like why people think that they can act that way and it be okay. Because like I said, we're all human. We have feelings. We all make mistakes. We ain't perfect, but it seems to me like um society is looking towards the shallow person, and that's I don't me personally, I don't think that's right. I think you should be, I mean, you should be yourself, but I think a shallow person is acting, and you shouldn't act. You should just be yourself. Be yourself and don't judge others because you don't know what they're going through. You really don't know what they're going through. Juju, my eye has been acting up. Well, actually, both my eyes, but this one a little bit more has been acting up for about a week now. I even changed because I have another pair of glasses. I even wore a different pair of glasses, thinking, it might have been my glasses or something. They're the same prescription, and so I'm like, I don't know, but it's like it's real itchy, and it's not watery. I have eye boogies, and I'm putting it with a warm washcloth, but it burns real bad. And then like it itches real bad, but it doesn't water. Like allergies, your eyes will water like nonstop. My eyes feel dry, like they're dry, as in like they feel um kind of sandpapery. You know, I don't know. Yes, I have used contacts, but I mean, I actually have contacts. Y'all never seen me in contacts. Maybe one day when my eyes get better, I'll actually wear them. But I suffer with dry eye, so they have to give me the contacts that have the extra moisture or whatever that's called, the hydro whatever, hydro moist or something like that. And so because my eyes are so dry that I have to have the extra moisture. But I've suffered with dry eyes before, and this is different than dry eyes. So I don't know. I don't I don't know. I got me some like allergy eye drops, and they're not doing nothing. They're not doing nothing. If anything, they're just making them more dried out and itch more, and I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I look completely different with contacts. I don't know what makes a big difference in contacts. Some people don't even know who I am. Like I've had a friend of mine I've had forever, known forever, forever, forever. You and I scribbled this. We had a club meet, and this was when we was in Dirty South years ago. And I come in, yeah, that's fine, Mr. Michigan. And we had our club meet, and I wore my contacts. They didn't even recognize me. They were like, "Who is that?" And Rebel said, "That's Becca." And they were like, "I don't even look like Becca." I don't wear color contacts, but when I have clear contacts, and they have like a little light blue on the sides, just so you can see to put them in your eye. It makes my eyes like an aqua blue, but they're clear. I don't know. I don't know why it does that. I have no idea. But when my eyes get better, I will show you guys one day my contacts. But right now it would feel, if I wore contacts, it would feel like they were going in the back of my eyes, and that's a pain in the rear to pull them back down. If you've ever slept in contacts and not meaning to, but you've slept in contacts and you could feel them like they're real dry, and you have to kind of like pull them down and kind of like pry them off your eye and throw them in the trash or put them in the solution. It's It's terrible. It's terrible, guys. Seriously. Yeah, Mr. Michigan, you can come up here for a minute if you want to. Let me know your opinion on what a shallow person is. I'm really interested in what y'all I'm interested in y'all's opinions. I want y'all to be a part of what I cover. So I'm definitely interested in what y'all think of when I went over. Like why people do this, why people act that way. It's not all about material things. It's not all about money. I mean, granted, you have to have money in order to live and pay your bills, but it's not all about that. Everybody needs to be humble. Everybody needs to be their self. Nobody is better than anybody else. We all go to the bathroom the same way. I'm not trying to be explicit, but I'm just saying we all put pants on the same way. We're human. We might not. We're all differently made, but the point is, we're still human. Nobody's better than nobody. It doesn't matter if you have thousands and thousands of dollars or you have pennies to your name. You're still a person, and you still deserve respect and being treated with kindness and compassion. I'll get it right here in a minute. Is very important. It's very important. Absolutely, Juju. All our graves are the same size. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know why people can't be humble and compassionate to other people. Like it doesn't matter about looks. It's what's on the inside that counts. What's up, Mr. Michigan? How are you, my brother?
Trying to survive. We've been dealing with weather all week, and then fireworks going off tonight, and our dog's going crazy. So we had our own little concert here just to keep the noise from outside coming in. No, what I was gonna say is, after all the fireworks and stuff was over, I seen you were on, so I came on, and right when I come on, you were talking about your eyes, and I'm like, that's exactly what mine do, and it's right before a migraine or right after. It's like a residual of the migraine, but like pressure will bring that on also on me, like the pressure outside.
It's terrible. It's terrible though.
Your eyes are like itchy.
Oh yeah, if they feel like because I'm not mean to rub them. Like I'll rub them in my sleep. You don't know what you're doing when you're asleep. I mean, I'll rub them in my sleep, and so the sides are so raw. Especially this side.
Now, when mine does that, it's mainly my left eye, and it'll feel like it's real dry, and I'll start rubbing it. And as soon as I do, and I quit rubbing it, and I open my eye back up, it's like I got a film over it, like slimy. Mm-hmm. And then I'll be sitting here.
Eye boogers. You know what I'm talking about? Like you go to wipe it, and you're like, what the? Ew.
Yeah, but this stays in my eye. It doesn't come off on my finger until I blink a couple times, and then it'll get right in the corner of my eye, and it'll be like a hard, slimy thing. But mine does that all the time, and I'll be sitting here, and I'll be just watching TV or something, and all of a sudden I'll just feel a tear running right down my eye.
Mine feel like sandpaper. They're really dry. They feel like a dry type feeling, like allergy eyes, but without the water. You know what I mean? It's
terrible. Mine does that until I rub it, and then as soon as I rub it, it will have that film over it, and then it'll water. So
it's aggravating. But
it drives me nuts.
I suffer with migraines, and I take medication for migraines. But the medication I take is also helps with it's a mood stabilizer too, or it can be used as a mood stabilizer.
Yeah.
It's Topamax. And I've had it for years, and it's really good stuff for migraines. But
they had me on that. They tried me on like all kinds of medicine, and they were for like mood swings and stuff like that.
Right.
And they'll, it's a medicine for this, but it's also for migraines.
Right. And also help with this.
I'll just take the itchy, watery eyes, because the side effects of some of those medicines were like outrageous. So, hold on just a second. I'm going to mute until I put this in the deep fryer.
You're good. I'll never understand how people can be so vile and nasty. Personally, I think it said more about them and the person they try to hurt. Shitty thing to do. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Why can't, this is kind of like a lifeline. Like, in a way, it's awareness because a lot of people did not know what it was. and the difference of a shallow person and a deep person, a real person, or that's how I look at it, a real person. It's very hard. I don't know why people do what they do. I don't understand. They have no compassion for others. They're judgmental. Like, why? Why are people like? I just don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, how can you be the good in the world or try to be a good in the world when that's really not? I mean, my opinion, a shallow person is not really the good in the world. It makes people feel shitty and makes them feel like crap, especially if you're like friends with them or your family with them, whatever, and they treat you like that. People shouldn't treat people like that and think it's okay.
I treat everybody with the respect that I want to be treated with until you do me wrong, and then I become a shallow person.
Absolutely.
But once I'm done, then I go back to myself.
Right. I mean, you can only put up with so much crap. But what I'm saying is, nobody's better than nobody.
I guess it's not shallow person. It's more petty.
More like, like a karma type thing.
Uh-huh.
Like a karma type thing.
Yeah.
You said, I got you.
I'll give you the shirt off my back if you needed it.
I would too.
The first time you do me wrong, I'm coming at you.
And especially if you mess with the kids, with your babies.
Yeah.
That's it. Forget it. That's over with. That's a crime. You know what I mean?
Just had a little conversation about if you mess with my daughter, then you're messing with me.
Mm-hmm. And you just have the one, don't you?
Yep. She's old enough now. She's taking care of herself. But
yeah, you just have the one daughter though, don't you?
Yeah.
But still, it don't matter how old your children are. You're still going to fight for them. It doesn't matter.
Till I'm in my grave.
And treated that you can rock that jumpsuit. You know what I mean?
Yep. I look good in orange, even though it's Tennessee's colors. But
Well, it's got yellow and blue on your paper, so maybe you could be lucky and find a yellow and blue one.
Yeah. Maybe they can custom order me one.
Yeah. But let's just go to the pokey, and I want that one right there. And you better make sure it's my size, not 15 times too big or 15 times too small.
My wife makes fun of me all the time because we've got like our plates for dinner. Mm-hmm. They're like a maroon and then a yellow. It looks like ketchup and mustard basically. And I won't eat out of the maroon ones. And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" Because she'll try to hand me the maroon one all the time, and I'm like, "Nah, I ain't eating out of that thing."
You look at her like, "That's your plate."
She goes, "No, you're taking it too far now."
She's like, "It's just a freaking plate." You're like, "No." Rebel said, "Mess with my daughter, you better sign your death warrant because I'm coming for you, period." Or any of the babies. You're a totally different person when it comes to your children. That's what I'm saying. But I don't understand why people do what they do and think it's okay to be that way. Like, I think society is so screwed up. I mean, that's my opinion. Society is so screwed up that they don't know. They're kind of like immature kids. They don't know which way to turn to. They're just going to follow whatever. And I don't think, I think that's why I always say, be yourself. I think that that's wrong. But it's like people, they don't know no better. And that's terrible for treating people like that. It should be, I mean, like, this is just my opinion. It should be against the law, but that's just me. I know you probably couldn't do a law about that because people are people. But what I'm saying is that's just not how people are supposed to treat other people. You're supposed to be, and I know not all people, have a big heart, but you still can be kind and not judgmental and treat people the way you want to be treated. So if you're going to treat me like crap, then I'm going to treat you like crap. I mean, I'm just saying, it's kind of like a domino effect. If you treat me good, then I'm going to treat you good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why people think that they are better than everybody else. I mean, you could be, like a billionaire. And you're completely miserable because you don't have no friends, or you people only come around because you have money and you got a nice car and you got a fancy, whatever the case may be, you got fancy everything. That's the only reason that those people come around. The only reason. That's the only reason that they come around is because they want something off of you, and they know that you have money and that you're like, okay, well, let's go have a party or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm not rich. I'm just saying, whatever the case may be, they follow that person because that person can make them look good. And I don't think that's right. I just don't think that's right. That's just my opinion. Juju said, I think insecure people are shallow people. They are the ones that act like that. Absolutely, honey. It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. You try to be the good in the world, and people, that's what I'm saying. It's like you got good versus evil, and then you try to, you're trying to be the best person you possibly can be, but then you have people, and I'm not just talking about on YouTube, like in everyday life. It's, in this society so screwed up because people have this mindset that they're better than everybody else when in all reality, we're all people. We're not all the same. I'm just saying we're all people. We all have feelings. It doesn't matter if you got millions of dollars or pennies to your name. You're still a person. You still deserve respect and kindness and to be treated as a person, not somebody like a little pissant to be stomped on because this person's way up on the pedestal and you're down here or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I'm just saying
I'm
that's
sitting
really
here laughing at
up.
myself because I've been talking to you for like 5 minutes and I was muted because I was trying to get stuff done here, like cook my dinner. I was muted and I was like, man, she's talking over me like crazy tonight. What the heck?
Because
I look down. I look down and I'm muted and I'm like, well, dummy.
Yeah, because I would have, I listened. I haven't heard you, so I just figured you was messing with the fryer, and I said he'll come back, so I'm just gonna talk.
Did you hear me when I said what Rebel was talking about? Messing with your daughter. I said you better get right with Jesus because you're about to meet him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't hear that part. I was like, well, he's messing with his fryer. I don't want him to get burnt, so he'll be back in a few minutes. So I'll just saying my point of view.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there talking away. I was like, she's not even answering me. And I look over and I'm like, duh, because I'm muted.
It's like that. No, what in the world, Becky? You didn't even talk to me. What the hell? Well, you was muted. I had no idea what you were saying.
That must not have been important, though. I mean, something happened that got muted, so.
Well, maybe you were speaking your mind and cussing and carrying. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I wasn't cussing. I wouldn't do that. Not without permission.
But yeah, something might have made you mad. You just kept mute and cussing out whatever made you mad.
Well, actually, what it was, I think when I muted, my dog was scratching at the back door, and I thought she was about ready to let out a yoop yoop. Now she's drinking behind me. My goodness.
Hey, Riff, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Riff.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. It's so good to see all you beautiful people. I love each and every one of you guys. And I'm not all about, talking about myself or nothing, but you can tell good people. You can sense it. It doesn't matter. Like you can just, and Rebels taught me this, you can sense good people. You can sense people that are true and good and not fake and not shallow or whatever the case may be. You can sense people, that it's hard to explain, but I'm talking about, like you can just read like by their actions or by the way they, not so much as in judging, you can just sense if they're going to be a good person or not. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. It's hard to explain, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about.
Makes perfect sense. I unmuted this time.
It's like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to answer her. So what is your opinion on a shallow person?
My opinion?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for shallow people, but like I said, you pretty much said everything. I mean, the way they are and how they act and what they do. And,
well, I'm sure I'm sure everybody, unfortunately, and I hate to even say this, I'm sure everybody some point in their life has dealt with the shallow person or as I consider it, a shady person, like a fake person. It's basically the same. It's basically
that's what I was going to say, more fake than anything.
It's basically the same thing.
buy the most fanciest stuff, and they have to have the best friends, and the people. To me, I think they surround themselves with people that don't look as good as them, just to make them stand out and look better.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, like they're the best on the totem pole, and then their friends look a little bit less than, what I mean? That
I
makes sense. They're up real high, so their friends look a little bit less, more attractive than them, but they're
Yep.
still up at the, if that makes sense,
I don't care what people have in life or what they've done in life. I care what's in people's hearts.
Yeah, and how they treat you as a person. Absolutely. And if you treat me shitty,
Yeah, I'm coming at you.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
I've
I
got
mean, and like I said, I'm not just talking about on YouTube, but you see a lot on YouTube. A lot.
All you got to do is pay attention to people, and just like Juju just said right there, they can only keep their mask on for so long. You watch them, and as soon as they let their mask down, then you see it. Then
Absolutely. And you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a shocker in a way, because like, okay, they was acting this
Mhm.
way, and everybody loved them, and they seemed like a legit person, like very humble, kind, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, it's like flip 360, and here comes the real person out, and everybody's like floored, because they're like, where in the hell did this come from? Like, this is not the person that we once knew.
See,
You
I've
know
had
what I
I've had
mean?
friends like that, and I've had family like that. And as soon as their true colors come out, then it's cut them out.
Well, my sperm donor's a lot like that. He makes, like, I mean, and I know money's not everything, but like I said, you have to have it in order to live. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. You got bills to pay. You got food to eat. I mean, you have to have your necessities in order to live. Unfortunately, bills and stuff like that can't pay themselves. Don't we all wish? That'd be wonderful. But I'm just saying. But my sperm donor, he makes like, and it's not about, it's not about how much money you have or how much money you don't have, and I'm like that. You just respect the person as their person. It doesn't matter. Just be humble and nice. But he makes like $6,000 a month just by himself.
Mhm.
And he's just a straight up douchebag. I mean, honestly, I don't care if he's watching it. Don't bother me none. I don't give a damn. But he's all about himself. He's selfish and I mean, this is my personal, he's self-centered, selfish, narcissist, controlling, like, and heaven forbid. I mean, like, I haven't asked him for money in a long time, but heaven forbid he does something to you, because he does something for you out of the supposedly kindness of his heart. He throws it up to your face. That's not kindness of your heart. That's doing something to get noticed or something for your supposedly good works. You know what I mean? That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. But that's what I deal with, and I completely did that. Completely. He's blocked from everything. And I mean, I know that it's my sperm donor, but I'm telling you, it's just pure hell what I lived with. Rebel knows. But I'm just like, I have no use for somebody. And the thing about it is, I was raised poor. When my parents were together years and years ago, we was poor. I mean, I'm still poor. So, like, people forget, I mean, in just my opinion, people forget where they came from. People forget their raising. You know what I'm saying? They forget. Yeah. Because of money or whatever the case may be, or they got a fancy car or whatever. Like, people just need to stay humble. I mean, good Lord. It's just, I mean, and that's kind of a part of the evil in the world too. People are acting like they're better than everybody else, when in all reality, we're all human. Jeez,
I don't know. Like I said, it's not about what you have to me. It's what it is you have in your heart. If you're a good person and you treat people nice, then you get my respect. Respect is earned. It's not given.
Absolutely. Riff said, hey, I'm poor now, but when I grow up, I'll be rich one day. That's what we always think, ain't it? We're going to have a mansion.
I've done grown up and got old, and I'm still not rich.
Riff says he's 43 now, so you still young and riffed.
Yeah. He's still a pup.
He's still a puppy. He's
Still
not much older than I am. I'll be 37, so he's just a little bit older than me.
Y'all still wet behind the ears.
Oh Lord! So when you grow up to be what 70 or 80, that's when you're hoping you get rich.
That way I can leave it to somebody else, because it ain't gonna be much longer.
I'm telling you. But as the old saying goes, oh Lord, I had a brain fart now. Trying to read this.
Is that the old saying? You had a
I
brain
guess
fart?
it's old saying.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
okay, this is old saying. I know that every one of you guys have heard this. Like when your kid, like I'll just say, for example, your kids ask for something, like, whatever, and it's really expensive, whatever it is. And I'm like, I'll get it when my rich uncle gets out of the poorhouse.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a rich uncle. So, and you know what I'm saying? That was the old saying. Or Rebel says shit in one hand and whatever in the other, and see which one gets fuller quicker.
Which one fills up the fastest? That's my favorite saying, because my daughter will ask for something and I don't even say the whole thing anymore. I just say wish and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just like,
She knows what I'm
come
talking
on, guys. You got you just do the best you can with what you have. Honestly, and I'm not like I'm not about talking or patting myself or nothing like that. But me, Rebel, and our kids stayed in a motel room for almost 1 year because our house got sold out from underneath us. We was up to date and everything, but our house got sold because our landlord wanted to retire. So housing is so screwed up now. You have to take forever to find a place. So we literally, I ain't lying. We literally lived in a motel room for almost a year until we found this house. And granted, it's a small house, but I am thankful to the Lord in heaven above that I have. It's way better than a motel room. Way better, hands down. But that's what I'm saying. You don't know what somebody's going through. You have no idea. So why don't you just be humble and kind? Because you don't know. Don't judge a book by its cover. Just don't do it.
See,
I just don't understand.
When I was younger, my dad's favorite saying was dip, 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 get a job. Every time I would ask him, hey, can I have $5? Hey, can I have this? Hey, can I have that? That was his favorite saying to me. Get a job. I'm like, you're a dork.
It's like, Dad, but I'm not old enough. I'm only 5.
Yeah.
Dad, I'm still in diapers. Come on now.
Lord, I'm only 5 years old. I can barely say, I can barely walk, let alone go to the bathroom, and you want me to get a job? Oh, Lord. That's why I bought my boat, no payment. Exactly. And now just be humble, guys. It doesn't matter. To me, it does not matter what kind of car you drive. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how you dress or whatever. It's what's in here that counts the most. You could be, like I said, you could be an ugly person, but you could be beautiful on the inside.
That's just like one of my buddies. We used to fish all the time. Well, we fished on a lake that you couldn't use your big motor. You could just use your trolling motors.
Right.
And he had a big bass boat. It was a Ranger, like 19 foot or whatever. And I went and bought a John boat that just had a trolling motor, and it had a floor in it and bass seats and everything. It was decent, but it wasn't the best looking.
Right.
And, it wasn't the most comfortable thing to fish out of.
Right.
But when he fished out of it one time, and ever since then, or until we quit fishing together, he would say, "Oh, we're taking my boat tonight," and I'm like, "It's a little easier to get mine in and out of places on that lake, the coves and stuff like that." He's like, "Oh, we'll be all right."
See, I just don't. It's crazy how people think it's okay to treat other people. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Even when me and him started fishing, he had a little 12-foot John boat. And, it was ramped in that thing. Me and him and all of our gear and poles and stuff. And we were going out there and kicking everybody's butt in these tournaments and winning all the time.
Right.
And then he upgraded to a 14-foot, and we won a few tournaments, and he got the bass boat, and we quit winning because we couldn't get to the places that we used to catch the fish.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, sometimes, and most of the time, the newer, fancier stuff is not as good as the older stuff. I mean, I drive a 2000. I mean, you know, I drive a 2000 Toyota Sienna minivan.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you know, I drive it all the time. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for it. You know, it beats walking. You know, it don't matter. Just be humble. Like, you know.
Until my wife bought, you know, her car, she pretty much drove it till the wheels fell off of it. But she had I think it was a 2002 Hyundai Santa Fe.
Right.
And literally it was falling apart. And she bought a 2012 vehicle. And I'm still driving a 2004 Chevy Avalanche. And I pretty much drove the wheels off it.
Oh, don't tell Rebel that you have an Avalanche. Oh my goodness, he wants one so bad, so bad. He wants one so bad.
In my experience, when I bought mine in 2009, it was perfect. It was great. It rode like a Cadillac, and it went downhill pretty quick. I mean, they're convenient. You know, you can turn the bed or the back seats into the bed and take the back window out and stuff like that. But everything quit working on it. All the electronics. I mean, the key fob. If you lock the doors and you try to unlock it with the key fob, the alarm goes off on it.
Good Lord. The
windows don't roll down half the time. I can't lock it with the push button. I have to manually lock it. I mean, it's just crazy. And then they start leaking around the window that comes out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, he likes it because it's kind of like an SUV and a truck. You know what I mean? Like you got room for your family, but then you can also turn it into a pretty long bed. You know what I mean? The hollow junk. You know.
Since we bought ours, my wife said that if I ever get anything else like a truck, it's got to be a 4-door, just like that with the quad cab or whatever.
Right.
It can't be like the crew cab or the smaller. It has to be the big one like that because, you know, we've got kids that go with us all the time.
Right.
You know, we go camping, we load the crap out of my truck.
And their gas guzzlers, ain't they?
12 miles to the gallon.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's in town. It gets like 15, 16 on the highway.
But still, I mean, with gas being as expensive as it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, good Lord, I just put $20 in you and I only got a quarter of a tank. Like, really? And you know what I mean?
when I was working, I worked literally 12 miles from my house. So I used 2 gallons of gas each day to work and home from work. So, you know, any other running, you know, you're 5-6 gallons a day, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Some people and some people don't realize, you know, unfortunately, like I said, bills don't pay themselves. So you have to pay them, you know, in order to live. But people think that some people have all the money in the world, and, you know, and like I said, money's not everything, but a lot of people see it as that.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, you know.
And see what we're doing right now, my wife, you know, she still owes like 2 months on her vehicle.
Right.
So we're waiting until she gets done paying hers off. And I've been looking, you know, for something for me to get after that. So we only have 1 car payment.
Right. Right.
I found a 2006 Hummer H3, which is a really nice vehicle, really, you know, fancy or whatever.
Right.
But they want $8,200 for it.
Wow.
And then I also found a Range Rover, which is a real fancy car and real expensive, but they want $9,000 for it.
Wow.
So, you know, it's not like, you know, I can buy something, but you search around and you find, you know, good deals at a good price.
Right.
You don't just go
have
out
to do
and
a buttload of work on, you know what I mean?
You don't go out and spend $50,000 on a brand new one because even the brand new ones break.
Mm-hmm. And that warranty only lasts so long. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you got a Hummer, Lord, you probably get what, like 8 miles to the gallon or something?
Well, it's the smaller one, and they only have like a V6 in them. But they're big enough that we can put all our stuff in it and we can take people, you know.
Right. It's not
So-
like that big box Hummer, you know what I mean? That looks like an army tank.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
maybe
third
5 miles per gallon.
yeah, it's the third generation, so it's basically the baby.
It's
So
kind of like the
there's-
Jeep version in a way. It
Yeah,
looks like
yeah,
a miniature, it's a Hummer, but it's more like a Jeep body style.
It looks like basically like a 4-door Jeep is what it looks like.
Right. Yeah.
But I seen on Marketplace, and usually on Marketplace they're like, 100 miles away. This one's right here in our town. And I was like, oh. So if he still has it in a couple months, then we're gonna go have a little chit chat with him.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly. I mean,
it's lifted. It's got big tires on it. It's got
Oh.
matching spare.
if you can do anything to benefit you and make a less a bill, it's always great. You know what I mean?
It's not like I'm gonna go out and spend 20 grand on a vehicle. There ain't no way.
It's like, geez, that's a lot of freaking money. And that's if you're putting you're putting a down payment on it, then you have your monthly payments, and they're at least $400 to $500. That's almost close to rent. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And me and my wife were talking. I was like, man, I'd really like to have a new truck. A newer one, like 19 or 20, 21 maybe.
Right.
And she's like, I'm not paying what we paid for our house for a damn vehicle.
Right.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's basically 3/4 of what we paid for our house. So they're like 70 grand,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, there's no way.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. Because you can have nice things and not cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But you have to shop around. But you don't put it in, you're not, it doesn't make you uppity. You just have a nice thing.
Well,
you worked hard to get it.
My uncle retired. He'd worked at his job for like 40 years, and he retired and got a severance package and all that,
Right.
this and that, and his 401k and everything. And he went out and bought a brand new Ford F-250.
Wow.
And he paid like 69 or 60 some thousand for it. But he worked for that,
Right. He worked hard for it. Right.
That's
right.
pretty much all he has.
It. He deserves it because he worked his time in off to get it. You know what I mean? That's a different type. You work real hard, but certain people have never lifted a finger a day before in their life, and they don't know how that. They don't want for nothing, and they act like they're better. That's what the shallow.
Well, that's the
are.
thing.
And I'm like,
he's the one that has the motorcycle. He has the truck, a motorcycle, and he just bought a camper also. It's like a toy hauler, but he rents. He doesn't even own his own house. So he has material things, but he still lives, just like we used to back in the day. But he only has those material things because he worked his butt off all these years, and then he finally retired, and now he owns cool toys.
Right. He's like, I deserve this. I look how much I did in these years and years and years and years.
And see, and he's not one that'll pat himself on the back either. He doesn't rub it in people's face. He doesn't, oh, look what I've got. Mine's better than you. Or, I told him, I said, man, you need to pat yourself on the back for, being able to buy that. You haven't had anything all your life. Now you do. So.
That's what I'm saying. People need to be humble because you don't know what somebody's going through. I mean, like I said, they could have all the money in the world or have all the fanciest thing in the world, and there's still good people that have money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's it makes society look bad if those good people have that money and they don't show it. You know what I mean? Kind of like your what was your grandfather? Like he's still him. Just because he worked his ass off or your uncle, I'm sorry. Just because he worked his ass off to get that stuff, he paid the price because he worked all them hours, all them years, and then he got him something that he deserved. I mean, like I worked hard for this, you know. But like these people, they don't want for nothing, and they've never lifted a spoon. I mean, like they got born with a golden spoon in their mouth.
Yep.
They don't know what plastic forks is. They don't know what paper plates are. I mean, I'm just saying, be humble, guys. I mean, really, be humble. Jeez.
That's all you got to do is just be nice. I mean,
God.
The world would be a lot better place if everybody would just smile and be nice to each other.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be, I'm just trying to be positive and do, be the good in the world.
Yeah.
But then people, I'm just saying, and you see it every day. You see it on YouTube, you see it in person, you see it at the grocery store, you see it every day. People are just cruel. They're really cruel, and and it's like they're Karens per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, why
You
act
said-
that way?
You said you see it in the grocery stores. Yeah, you do. I've seen it 28 years. I've seen it
Lord.
every day.
You worked at Kroger's, didn't you? A long time.
Yeah.
Oh,
28 years
Lord.
in Kroger's.
Shoo,
So,
Lord have mercy. That's
we
a
have-
long time.
We have 4 Kroger's in our town, and I've worked at the main one that I started out at, but then I went to each of the other 3 and helped out before.
Right.
And then the town to the north of us, we've worked at that one,
That's
So
a long
we go-
time to work at a grocery store, but
Yeah.
so you know exactly what I'm talking about, how people act. Good
Oh, yeah.
Lord have mercy. Like,
Yeah.
really? Like, you're
And
going to
I
go
work-
off because your card didn't go through, or like, I went to the Dollar General today to get some oil for my car, or for my van. And this woman in front of us, bless her heart, I mean, she was, she had a really bad motorcycle accident, and her leg was wrapped up from road rash.
Yep.
And she actually is one of our dental hygienists. But Lord, she got so mad because she gave them a check, and her check wouldn't go through or something like that. It didn't match
Yep.
with her ID or whatever it is. And she just left the buggy right there and stormed off. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay.
I've seen that every day.
Like,
We didn't have something on the shelf that they didn't want. They just leave, frozen stuff or cold stuff and just
leave
walk
it a
out.
mess. They would leave it a mess for you to do, because
And then
they're
we
like,
got to put it all back.
you should see me. Rebel's like, babe, you shouldn't do that. Like, if I'm in the store and I accidentally knock something off, I put it right back where it goes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, geez, these people work hard. If the kids knock something over, I'm like, y'all better put
Well,
that back.
Here's a good story for you. So my job was stocking. I
Oh,
stocked in
Lord.
frozen foods or dairy or just the regular groceries or the chips or whatever.
Right.
So me and my wife would be out shopping, say at Walmart, or
Right.
we'd go to the dollar store, or we'd go to the gas station or whatever, and I would buy something from off the shelf, and I'd grab the front one. I'd pull the next one forward. We call fronting it up. I pull it forward so the people at the store didn't have to go by and do it themselves. And she's like, "You're not working here. Why are you doing that?" I said, "It's common courtesy." And she's
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, I guess so."
I mean, it's just that, it makes it a little bit easy. I mean, because these people, I mean, they think that these jobs are easy.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, you were a stalker. I've been a cashier off and on for all my life, and being a cashier is terrible. You have to kill them with kindness, even though you're like, oh, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
But see, when we worked in dairy department, they used us to come up when they got backed up. They would call us up to the front to run the register. So I ran a register too, and I bagged groceries when I first started out. I was making $4.25 to bag groceries and deal with people and take stuff out to their car and go out and get the bass carts. Push 14.
And you were
15.
what is it called, like a courtesy person or something like that?
Yeah, we just called them baggers back then.
Right.
But yeah, they're now customer
Courtesy
service or
something.
courtesy clerk or
something. You know what I'm talking about.
oh yeah, know exactly what you're talking about.
It's some specific name now. It's crazy.
And now
those buggies, I'm telling you, and like I said, it's just something petty. Like you go to the grocery store or Walmart or whatever, and you have a buggy, return the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, geez, or park close to the buggy trough or whatever it's called. That you don't have. I mean, I understand certain people cannot walk that far, but I mean, like, they're crippled or whatever. But I mean, geez, at least try. And I mean, most of the time, if I see like an elderly person or something trying to push their cart back or a buggy or whatever y'all call it, because I call it a buggy. But anyway, if you're like, let me get that for you. You know what I mean? Because they're feeble and they're having a hard time walking, but they at least try to put the buggy back. Some people just don't care, and the buggy fly. I mean, wind blowing and it damages cars, and they just don't care.
Yeah, I was getting ready to tell you that story. Back when I first started there was a bunch of us. I mean, we had like 12 or 13 people that would work each night because I worked in a huge store.
Right.
And or just the baggers, or the courtesy clerks or whatever.
Whatever they're called. Yeah.
Um, Kroger tried to have us call those bass carts instead of carts or buggies or whatever. It's a bass
Wow.
cart because it's a basket on wheels.
Pink Fan
I'm
said
like-
it was a shopping trolley. I've never heard it called that. A shopping
Buggy,
trolley.
But anyway,
Sorry.
we were having a tornado one night, and a real bad storm, and there was a tornado. The sirens were going off, and you could actually go out in our parking lot and look south and see the tornado. And our
Mm.
managers were sending us out to get carts so they didn't blow in on people.
Oh my god.
So me and one of my buddies, he was about 6'4" and about, I'd say 180 pounds, tall, skinny dude.
Right.
And we were pushing in carts like 20 at a time, trying to hurry up and clear the lot.
Right.
And he was down at the bottom of the lot, and our lot sloped down toward the road. And he was at the bottom trying to push the carts, and he wasn't going anywhere. He was going backwards. He wasn't coming forwards. And I told him, I said, let go of those carts and get in here.
right.
so he
Screw the carts. I mean, your life is very important. Get your
He
hind
ran
in here,
inside.
You know, geez.
Yeah, he ran inside, and we stood at the window and watched those carts go flying down the hill, over the embankment, and into the middle of the road. And he was like, what if that hit somebody? And I said, what if you blew away in the damn tornado?
I
You
mean,
know?
what if you were still attached to them buggies? That would
I'll
have been
take-
you.
I'll
You know
take the
what I mean?
damaged car any day, over losing a life. Come on now.
Absolutely. Everybody's
Yep.
life is precious. Absolutely. And I've pushed a couple of them, but I've never pushed buggies, but I can
Mhm.
see they have a hard time kind of, you know what I mean? At Walmart, those things have it's like a little push button thing.
Yep.
But still
Remote
they have
control.
to maneuver them, and they got like 50 buggies on that damn thing. And I'm like
You
how are
grab
you
those things by the front, and they turn like
take
an
that,
accordion.
what is it called? Bungee cord, and attach it, and then push that button on at Walmart,
Yep.
and it attaches to that little machine. But I'm like, geez, you got 100 buggies or 50 buggies or whatever, and you still have to maneuver it to get it pushed in.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
those are heavy.
Yep.
Geez, it's crazy.
I'll vouch for you. Anybody that thinks that working at a grocery store is easy, go work a day on the front end bagging groceries and go out and pull in carts. Tell me if it's easy.
Mm-mm. Restaurant works the same way because you got a bunch of people, and they always say the customer's always right.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. You know what I mean? Not necessarily. And they're really mean people. They'll throw food at you and everything. Lord have mercy, it's crazy.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
why do people act like that? Jeez.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
worked
Lord have mercy.
my very first job was working at McDonald's, and I had to deal with all that. Then I worked the concession stand at a racetrack with all the drunks. It's crazy. I worked for Frito-Lay. I had to deal with people. Why are you out of this, or why are you out of that? And I'm like, I'm just the replenishment guy. I'm not the guy that
Right.
delivers
It's like,
the stuff.
don't ask me. Talk to the
Mhm.
warehouse or whoever. You know what I mean?
So many
I'm
of the
just a worker.
managers at the stores, they were like, well, how come you guys you're out of this all the time? And I'm like, I'm just here to restock your shelf. I'm not the guy that brings it in. I'm not the delivery guy. Why don't you
Right.
call the manager?
Yeah,
you know?
because it's like, don't take it out on me. I don't know. I'm just asked to do this, and I'm doing it. I mean,
Yeah. I'm just
Jeez.
making a paycheck. I don't care.
Exactly. Like, I'm just trying to do my job the best I possibly can. And
That was just
y'all are being hateful.
That was just my side job, because that was when me and my wife first got together, and she worked nights and I worked early mornings. So I was at home by myself doing nothing. And I was like, shit, I'll make some extra money.
Right. Hey, a
So
little bit
I was
helps.
doing that,
Right.
throwing
That's
chips
great.
on a shelf.
But then people blame you because they don't have a specific chip. Well, I mean, if you ordered it and it didn't come, it's not your fault. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
All I'd tell him is I'll talk to my boss and let him know that the guy's not doing his job right.
well, I mean,
And- The bad thing is, the guy that I was filling for, he had 4 stores in the town north of us. So I had to drive all the way up there and then try to fill his stuff. And he wasn't leaving anything. And the manager called me and said, hey, what's going on? I've been told this by the manager. And I'm like, well, why don't you talk to the guy that delivers stuff? I said, he's not leaving me anything. And he said, well, he's telling me you're not putting anything out. I said, why don't you come ride with me one day?
right.
So he rode with me one day, and he's like, are you kidding me? This is all he left? And I was like, sometimes he doesn't leave anything at all. I drive all the way up here and there's nothing to stop.
Wow.
So you're paying me mileage just to drive my truck around for a little while, listen to music.
Right. You're paying me. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
going to do it, but there ain't nothing to be picked up. But that's okay as long as you pay me. You know,
Yep.
Pink
I
fan
said
said, "Wow,
I'll drive
really?"
around all night, listen to music.
Pink fan said, "Wow, really? I'm fortunate enough never to have had food thrown at me. That's terrible." Yes, I'm telling you, people are just downright mean. They're cruel. They're evil. I mean, like, really. And you try to kill them with kindness, and it still make it. It seems like it makes them more angry.
Yeah. Wait till
It's
they
like,
took a
quit
Big
being
Mac
nice
at
to
you.
me. Blah 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 blah. Like, I'm trying to keep my job, or you want me to just cuss you? I mean, and you know,
Yep.
it's crazy. It's crazy. People are crazy.
That's why I always say I don't have feel bads anymore
Rocket
because
Queen said, "I'm just a Dunny cleaner." Rocket Queen, you're just a you're just a housekeeper or whatever it's called, a
she's like,
housekeeper.
I'm gonna change her name to Tidy Bowl.
Tidy bowl. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Just joking,
Rocket
Rocket.
Queen, tidy bowl.
Don't kill me.
Oh Lord, you're
She'll
gonna have a
come.
nickname for everybody before it's all said and done.
She's gonna have a plane ticket to over here
She's
tomorrow.
gonna whoop your hind end.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, tidy bowl.
Anyway.
I was a checkout chick for a year. I think someone made me cry every day.
Oh yeah.
I'm
They
telling you,
will. They'll step on your feelings like it's nothing.
and they don't
Not
care.
even look back. Yep.
Sad. It's really sad the way people treat people. It's like, really, what have you forgot how you was raised? Like, have you forgot your raising? You know, or
Right.
have you forgot how to be a person, a normal human being? Have you forgot how to do
You
that?
know how when people make you mad and you want to say F you?
Right.
Yeah, they did that so much at our store that we had code word. It was "Have a nice day."
Exactly.
That was our "fu" to them because they're being all mad, and we'd go "Have a nice day." just as nice and polite as we could.
It's like, what'd
You
you
know?
say to me? I told you to have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day. Get the
And
hell
then
out of
after
my
they leave, like, fucking bitch.
face. No, we just all stood around looking at each other like,
Y'all was
That was
all
funny.
thinking the same thing, like, this bitch is
Uh-huh.
crazy.
oh yeah. We had a manager, one of our cool managers, one day. He was walking up to kind of calm the situation because he heard him like 2 aisles over. And as he's walking up, I go, "Have a nice day," and he just turned around and walked the other way because he knew what our code word was. He's like, "I'm not
Right.
getting in the middle of that."
Right. Right. Like,
Mhm. So I'm out the door.
Well, I appreciate you coming up here and hanging out
Yeah.
with me, Mr. Michigan,
I'm gonna
and
jump
seeing
off
your
here
point of view and everybody's point of view. It means a lot because I want everybody to be involved. Like, it's not, it's my stream, but it's really our stream because I want y'all to be involved too. So that's why I was kind of wondering what y'all thought about it, which I know a lot of you guys told me in chat. So I'm just like, I just don't know why people do what they do,
Yeah.
and think it's okay.
That's what I say all the time. Just give somebody a smile. That you never know what people are going through. Maybe
Mhm.
they just need a smile. One day.
It
So if
might
you got
change their perspective.
Yep. If you got a smile and you're not using it, give it to somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Michigan, for coming
All
up
right,
here
thanks.
and chilling with me. It means
Thanks
a
for
lot.
having me up.
Thank you, brother. You have a wonderful night. If I don't see you, well, I'll see y'all tomorrow night, hopefully.
Yeah.
But y'all have a happy 4th.
All righty, you too.
All right. See you, brother.
Peace out, y'all.
See ya. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. This is kind of like it was awareness, but it was more like support and like a life lessons, I guess you could say. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I always I pull up, we talk about we talk about a little bit of everything, and it's all, in good intentions, and try to pull up positivity parts. So it's kind of like psychological in a way, like different forms of psychology, if that makes sense. It's because we talk about a little bit of everything, like life lessons, mental health, well-being. I mean, it's all good stuff that people, I feel, excuse me, I feel in my heart that people need to hear or have a refresher, if that makes sense. Rocket Queen said, I used to tell mums at school. I love it when she says mums. Mums at school, they look nice today, even if I didn't know them. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Seriously. And I always say this, you don't never know what somebody is going through. You really don't. I mean, you could be a difference in somebody's life just by smiling at them or having kind words or, like, I like your shirt or holding the door for, or whatever. I mean, just have a little bit of compassion and kindness towards one another. I think it would go a long way, guys, and people would realize that they don't have to be such a shallow or fake or, whatever person. They can be themselves. It's like, wow, I haven't had somebody be nice to me in a long time, and maybe they'll change their tune. I mean, I'm not really for sure, but it doesn't hurt to be kind to one another. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of compassion, because like Mr. Michigan said, and I say this all the time, you truly don't know what somebody's going through. You really, truly don't. So it doesn't hurt and it doesn't cost them anything to be kind to one another and be compassionate. And, if you got a few minutes, like take the time to have a conversation with them, even if it's just for a minute or two. I mean, it might make their day. And, a lot of you guys watch true crime. It might make their day. And instead of, I mean, I'm just saying it might and might not, but it could change. It could possibly change their tune. Instead of going home and doing something true crime wise, they might have thought, well, this person made a difference in my life just talking to me for that few minutes. And I do feel that there are good people in this world. And maybe, just maybe, they decided not to do that true crime. I'm just trying to look at the bigger picture. It's worth a shot, but you really, truly don't know what somebody's going through. You really, truly don't. You really, truly don't. So just be kind and, just be there for one another and lift each other up, and none of that costs anything, guys. It doesn't cost anything to be a good person and actually be your true self, And I know I'm doing a lot of life lesson type stuff, but it's all in good too. Like I do, we talk about a little bit of everything. So it's all in good intentions, and to bring just all about being the better in the world, being the good in the world, being a positive change in somebody's life, but y'all have a wonderful night. And if I don't see y'all, well, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. But y'all have a happy 4th of July, everybody. I can't believe it's 4th of July. But y'all have a happy 4th of July, and please stay safe, because people will drive like maniacs. So just stay safe, guys, and enjoy your 4th with your family and friends or whoever you're enjoying it with. And just be careful with the fireworks, because the fires and stuff, just stay safe and enjoy yourself, just enjoy yourself. But y'all have a wonderful night. And then I always say this before I leave to you, just be careful with your words, because they can easily be forgiven, but not forgotten. And we're all human. We all have feelings. So just be kind to one another, okay? But I see you guys tomorrow night. And I'll tell you guys what I'm covering tomorrow. Yeah, don't burn your face off. Like, be careful. Stay safe, but enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Okay, tomorrow night, because I always try to tell y'all the topic, so that way y'all know. Tomorrow night we have, let's see, where is it? It is the importance of overthinking. It's the importance of overthinking. That's what we are talking about. The importance of overthinking, I just think that stuff like that's important, because a lot of people constantly, they're kind of like when I was telling you guys, I can't go to sleep. Like, I want to put my mind over here so I could sleep. Like, you can't turn your mind off, because you're constantly thinking about something. I think it's kind of like a form of anxiety, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So I always try to tell you guys the topic if I have it set up. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure if Rebel is going live tomorrow, but more than likely he is. So y'all just kind of keep a peek on his page. So because I don't want to tell you yay or nay. So y'all just keep a peek on his page, and hopefully he'll be going live tomorrow, though. I'm going to think about overthinking all night now. Oh, I'm sorry. But that's what we're talking about tomorrow. So it's another good life lesson type thing, you majigger. All positive. It's all positive and good vibes. But I know, because we can't take our brains out and turn them off. Absolutely. So your body could be asleep and your mind's still, your eyes are closed, but your mind's still going Mach 90 while you're trying to sleep. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I think that would be a good topic. So I'm trying to look at the broader picture and just kind of outside of mental health too. Support and awareness and encouragement and motivation and positivity. Just kind of talk about a little bit of everything. It's kind of like it's a good, positive, good vibes, like, just like lesson channel, support, awareness. It's all good stuff here. But thank you guys so much. Y'all have a wonderful night. And like I said, happy 4th of July, everybody. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day tomorrow with your friends and families. Enjoy your day off. If you don't have to work tomorrow, enjoy your day off. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. It's set for 10:30, and we are going to talk about overthinking. So y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Virtual hugs, and I love each and every one of you guys. And if y'all need me, I'm here for you wholeheartedly. And y'all have a wonderful night. If y'all would like to donate to the stream, it's scrolling at the bottom of the page. You don't have to, but it'd be much appreciated. But y'all have a wonderful night, and I love you all. And just be kind and be good to one another. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And it's overthinking. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night.